All this Polo Cup action is proudly brought to you by Engen Primax Unleaded, Volkswagen Motorsport, Polo Brakes, and Dunlop Tires.
After tricky and rainy conditions down in Port Elizabeth, we were kind of expecting it to be sunny and a bit warmer, but it's cool and the racing is going to be red hot. Here in Engen Polo Cup at Zwartkops, the racing is always tight. And in qualifying, it's going to be even tighter. Let's go and find out what happened and see who got to the top.
Teams are going to be working hard here to try and use each other for the slipstream effect down the back straight. Some of them have got teammates, some haven't. It's going to be very interesting to see who gets to the front end after this qualifying session. Keegan Campos seems to be on a bit of a flyer here and looks like he might be the man to catch. Remember, Jeff Kruger's got some extra weight in the car. It's going to make him very difficult. Oh, Mel Spur's out of shape. And looks like that's going to cost her big time in qualifying. The flag comes out, and it is Keegan Campos at the top. Now Super Pole, and Clinton Besaidnout leads them out as he was 6th quickest after qualifying. Delon Thompson in 5th, and then Justin Oates in the Europe and Seeker car. Pushing hard now to try and get to the front end. In fact, he goes quickest now, but there's still 3 more cars to come out on track, including his brother, Jonathan Machotsi and Keegan Campos. And Campos does the unthinkable and goes quickest in Super Pole as well. That's the first time this year that that's ever happened. Now moving on to the draw for race number 2. It's Darren Oates who goes to 2nd. Keegan Campos has now pulled an incredible effort and got to pole position after the lucky draw as well. Jean Gerber down in 4th. Machotsi, where's he going to finish up? Let's see. He moves across and gets the 3rd place. Haha, he's happy about that. Justin Oates will start from 6th place and Delon Thompson from 5th.
Both of you back into the top 6, so it looks like the boys are ready to go here.
So we knew we had to improve, so I'm quite happy with the result. I kind of was expecting it. If I knew if I put everything together, then the result will be good.
From your side of things, also big improvement, and looks like the car's starting to come together. But more importantly is to be in the top 6.
Yeah, this year's been strange racing, and both of us racing in different teams. We've been working with a sports psychologist to get our heads around it, and it seems like it's been working now. Finally, the results are coming.
It's been the perfect day.
Greg, it seems like all the luck's on my side, so hopefully for the remainder of the day, I can just stay out in front and run away.
Keegan Campos getting the 1,000 Rand from Dunlop. And join us after the break for the action from race 1 of the Engen Polo Cup. Welcome back to a windy Zwartkops, and we're in for some great racing now as the Engen Polo Cup gets ready to go. But before that, a little bit of celebration in pit lane, being Women's Month, handing out some roses to all the ladies. A little bit of quick preparations and final preparations now on these cars to get them ready for race 1 action. Before we go there, let's catch up with Clinton Besaidnout for our Engen driver profile.
I was born in Durban, South Africa. Well, I started when I was 4 years old, and then from there I did karting for 10 years career, and then I went to Onyx Legends, and then from there I came now to join Signature in the Polo Cup, and this is now my 3rd year. I think winning the karting world final was the best. Also, one of my other main highlights was also winning 2 South African championships in 2 different classes in the same year. And then from there, all of the vouchers, just being happy to get all the SA champs under my name, and hopefully to also in the future or this year get a Polo Cup one. Well, now I'm in grade 11, only 17. All it is just school and racing. Yeah, I've got also my other sports that I do, like my action cricket, action soccer, anything to do with sports, just to also keep me fit, and I think also mainly just to go to school. My main hero is definitely my father, for all the hard efforts that he put in during my racing career. And then as a driving perspective, it would be definitely Michael Schumacher, of all the championship titles that he won. And then I've also, in the karting when I used to do it, they used to give me a nickname, Baby Shumi, because I used to drive just so as good as him in the weights and also in the drive. It will definitely be East London. But if there is no longer his London, then definitely it is.
A new man to the series, Darren Winterboer, joins us halfway through the season. Looking forward to seeing what his action's going to be like, stepping in from a rear-wheel drive BMW into a front-wheel drive Volkswagen Polo GTI. And it's time to go racing. Heading down towards the final turn, Keegan Campos on pole position, Machotsi alongside him. Darren and Justin Oates making up the second row of the grid, with Delon Thompson and Besaidnout behind them. Jean Gerber leads up the Masters Challenge, with Jeff Kruger with 20 kilos of weight after an infringement in PE ahead of Tasman Pepper and Lorezove. Further down, Paulus Franken beating out Simon Need, Daniel Dermany a little bit further down on what he'd like, and then you got Darren Winterboer, the new man, ahead of Johan Pretorius, Piet Versace and Mel Spur. Right at the back, it's Cara Hill. She'll be looking to improve here at her home track. All looking to catch the man who got it all perfectly done this morning, Keegan Campos. Can he capitalize from that pole position now? As we run down the grid, stand by for action for race 1 here of the Engen Polo Cup. Windy conditions, as you can see from the flags, blasting on the side of the pit wall. And it looks like off the line, it is a perfect start there for Keegan Campos, with Justin Oates alongside him as they head down towards turn 1, Compendium Insurance Corner. Now as they head down onto the braking markers for turn 2, they all start to spread out. Look at where Besaidnout is, looking to go around the outside and use a little bit of karting knowledge, trying to get that outside maneuver to pay off for him. As they come through there, not a good start there from the two Pepper Racing stable teammates. They tucked in about 7th and 8th place there as they come along onto the back straight. It is the Phototonics car of Simon Need with a fantastic start. One of the best we've seen out of him ever in Polo Cup racing. Change up there as you see Darren Oates just squeezing out the Natal boy. We just spoken to Besaidnout. Oh, off track and sideways for Daniel Dermany. He got it completely sideways, and of course the second of those Natal boys now battling out and having to come from the back of the field. Side-by-side action from Machotsi as Besaidnout tries to keep him at bay through Kenwood. Just squeezes the Volkswagen Polo out as they come into Mix FM and down the hill to complete lap number 1. Delon Thompson behind the two Pepper Racing stable teammates there of Tasman Pepper, and it looks like she's just got ahead there of her teammate Sean Lorezove. The electric life car ahead of the Alpine Motors machine as they come to complete lap 1. It's Campos from Oates and Oates. Great start there from the Payenne car, but his stablemate Clinton Besaidnout is under big pressure coming there, and you can see just how hard Machotsi is pushing to get through. Machotsi has got the Masters champion from last year, Jean Gerber, all over the back of him. He's got a new sponsor on the side of that car with Daft Trucks looking to get involved. Alpine Motors here, and this is Sean Lorezove's point of view as they come through turn 2 onto the back straight. 135, 140 now coming onto that back straight away, going to be close to the 170 km/h mark before they roll off and down a gear into turn 4. Looking for a chance, but Tasman Pepper's broken a little bit of a margin between herself and her teammate. As they head up to the top of the hill, Delon Thompson capitalizing on that. Just behind that, it's Jason Campos. The turn 1 car there, a little bit further back than what Jay would like, sitting for a top 10. Oh, here comes a move on the inside. Justin Oates has a big dive into Kenwood. Can he get that Europe and Seeker car ahead of the Campos transport machine? No, they're still side by side. Keegan keeps him at bay for now. Great driving there from Keegan, just using that inside line and lots of knowledge that he's had of this circuit, having raced here on numerous occasions. Coming under braking, a little bit of change up in the background as well. Keep an eye on that one as Paulus Franken goes on the attack. He's trying to get that Manitou car of his further up the field. But as they come down through turn 1 again, Jean Gerber losing a little bit of ground there to Machotsi. Machotsi trying to close in on the back end of Besaidnout, and once again it's side-by-side action from the top 2. Campos versus Oates. Darren Oates waiting in the sideline, looking for a chance now. This is a good opportunity for the Seeker car to possibly squeeze through. He's got on the inside. Oh, now look, he's just been able to get through. Yes, he has. Justin Oates taking the advantage out of turn 2, using that inside line slingshot through turn 3, and he's taken the lead. Campos is right there with him. He's not giving it up. Side by side between Keegan Campos and Justin Oates, but he eventually has to give up the ground, and Oates gets through. Now goes defensive. Look at that push to pass, looking to use the push to pass, and he looks like he might be able to do it under braking. Good move there from Keegan Campos, trying to use the additional power from that push to pass mechanism, but he just wasn't able to get past on Justin Oates. Oates now staying defensive into Kenwood. Coming through Mix FM, Darren Oates applying pressure onto the back end of Keegan. So he's having to soak up the pressure from behind and go on the attack at the same time. Not an easy thing to do, particularly when the cars are so evenly matched. Oh, big move there from Jean Gerber. He had a look. Machotsi saw him coming, slammed the door shut. He's not going to let that Daft truck car come through, that's for sure. as he goes on the defensive once again. And in fact, look at Jeff Kruger. Remember we said Jeff Kruger's got 20 kilos of extra weight in there after that yellow card infringement in PE. So he's having to just take as much defensive driving as possible to keep his two arch rivals in the championship behind him. That, of course, being Tasman Pepper and Lorezove. A little bit further up the road, though, he will be concerned at how far up the standings Machotsi gets. You can see Machotsi just up the road, so he wants to just keep him well within his sights. Having to fight the car now with extra bit of kilos on is not easy to do as they come through turn 4. There is Kruger. And it's just literally line astern here from all of these polos. Not much engine. In fact, if you look at qualifying, the entire field was split by less than 2 seconds. That is just mind-blowing. 21 cars, all within the same 2 seconds of each other. Nice move there from Cara Hill. Look at Cara Hill. Much better start from her as well as she starts to get into the mix there at the back end of the field. We've got 3 lady drivers involved in Engen Polo Cup now. Simon Need runs wide. Johan Pretorius is right there with him. So is Alton Bow. Then it's Daniel Duminy. He's now recovering at the back end. Keep an eye out on the maneuvers there as well. Coming out of Darren Winterboer, the ANG Motorspares car. First time for him in this category and a big change up from the rear wheel drive that he's used to driving. They come through to complete another lap. Pretty much line astern. No changes there just yet. No one showing their cards and no one going for those overtaking maneuvers just yet. Oh, Fasaki runs wide. The Engen car of Piet Fasaki just trying a little bit too hard coming out of GNH Transport corner. Now down towards turn 2. Big pressure from Delon Thompson. Delon Thompson is all over the back end of Lorezove. And it looks like there's going to be a little bit of maneuvering there from him. I think Thompson means business. He wants through there in the MF Auto Body and Lee Thompson Racing Polo. Look at Oates though, getting away from Campos. Campos doing the same thing to his brother Darren. So pretty much even Stevens between the top 2 cars. I don't know if Keegan Campos is going to be able to catch or pass the man in front of him. The Campos Transport man is looking for a way to try and capitalize from his perfect weekend so far. Remember, he took pole in qualifying, he took pole in Super Pole, and he drew pole for race 2. He's not been able to capitalize it into a race win here in race 1. We'll have to wait and see what happens now in race 2. As we're coming down into the closing stages, the final lap of action. And as they come down here, it's going to be the first win ever for the Europe and Sika team and for Justin Oates as he comes through to take the checkered flag. A fantastic effort there. The Motorsport Fanatics guys are going to be happy about that as well as he crosses the line to take his first win in Engen Polo Cup. Second place goes to Keegan Campos, and his brother Darren comes through for third place and puts both the Oates boys on the podium. Besaidnout in 4, Machotsi is 5, Gerber 6, Kruger in 7th, and Pepper in 8th.
Ben's a great race out there, but a couple of incidents you were involved in. Take us through what happened with that front bumper.
Yeah, well, first of all, it started from the start. I just built too much boost off the line and was stuck with a whole bunch of wheel spin. And we sat in a train for most of the race, and Jason managed to squeeze his way past Delon through turn 4. I went up his inside and Delon tried to cut back, but from karting, we both sort of trying to pull some new moves, and I was wise to cut back and he just hit me from the back and I went into Jason.
Dude, you're on fire today. Looks like everything's going according to plan, and what a dice. Initially between yourself and Campos, but when you got through, you literally upped and ducked and got away.
Yeah, I decided before the race I had to pass him somehow, and then I did, and I knew I had to break away. I had to because he's quick and I wanted to break his confidence, so I used a few push-to-passes to just get away a bit. But I got a bit stressed towards the end because I could see he was catching me. He obviously saved his push-to-pass for the end, but I kept it together and I'm very happy with the result.
A lot less incidents than what I thought was going to happen in race number 1, but I think that might change up by race 2. Let's find out after the break and see what happens.
Welcome back to Zwartkops, just outside of Pretoria, and incredible action so far out of the Engen Polo Cup, which this big crowd has definitely come to enjoy. Fantastic to see the teams getting behind a couple of promotions on the day as well, with Dunlop giving away some tyres and the Universal Healthcare team also giving away a set of wheels. Cara Hill with a massive improvement in race 1. Let's see what she can do now in race number 2. Mel Spur will definitely be looking to take her on. Let's catch up with Delon Thompson for our Engen driver profile.
I was born in Benoni, Gauteng. My dad used to do karting, so as soon as I could walk, I was basically sitting in his seat, and then we went from there. Probably my highlight of my career is probably winning the South African Senior Max Championship. I really enjoy playing football, watching football, and also some squash on the side. I think my hero is probably Michael Schumacher, and also probably my dad. I learned lots of my racing from him. Probably East London. It's really quick, and it's really a hair raiser.
Now, Delon has certainly stepped up to the game in the Engen Polo Cup. So has Daniel Duminy. A couple of new guys involved here this weekend as well. Darren Winterberg being one of them. Looking to do the same now as we head into race number 2. Campos is on pole. He definitely wants to capitalize on this one. He's not going to let anybody through on him, I'm sure, and he's going to push hard. Machotsi is looking to just close down the championship, because remember, he's got his championship rival a bit further back there with 20 kilos of extra weight. That's Jeff Kruger. As they head down towards turn 1 now, great start. Everyone, oh no! In the mid-pack there, the two Pepper racing cars come together. Tasman Pepper slams into the side of turn 1 wall, and it looks like it was an incident there between herself and her teammate. Clinton Besaidnote had to just take evasive action. He got caught up in the mix there between the two Pepper Racing stable teammates. Those two are back on track, Le Reserve, and as they come through the dust that's been created from turn 1 at turn 3, I think everybody will be a bit concerned about what happened there. Now down on the braking markers for turn 4. Good move there from Jean Gerber as he keeps out the rest of this pack of cars. Simon Need under attack from Franken. Franken on 2 wheels in the Manitou Group machine. He gets up on the inside of Paulus Franken, and what a maneuver there. Cora Hill also right on Mal's burst tail. Coming out of turn number 5 now as they head through there. You can see just how tight it is. Race 1 winner fighting with Jeff Kruger. Justin Oates just on the tailpiece there. You can see of the second of the Campos boys. And DeLon Thompson giving a little bit of extra help from the background. A little bit of a touch there from the MF Auto Body car on the back end of the Universal Health car of Jeff Kruger. Rubbings Racing, he's got to stay out of trouble. He cannot afford to be in anything else other than on the black stuff, and he's being forced off the track there as well by DeLon. Good to see Tasman Pepper back on track, but she's right at the back of the field with a massive amount of ground now to make up. Let's have a look at it once again from Tasman's point of view. There you can see just getting tagged and nowhere to go and slamming into the side of the wall. That got to hurt for sure. You can see the young lady just under a bit of pressure there. Clinton Besaidnote's point of view. It looks like the Reserve was, I can't tell you, a racing incident for sure between those two. But certainly not how they wanted to start this race. Tasman and Sean first to come together. Clinton Besaidnote with nowhere to go. He eventually squeezes between the two of them, fortunately, as he tries to avoid the spinning Tasman Pepper and Le Reserve on his inside. This is Sean's point of view. I don't know. I can't tell you who did what wrong there, but you can see the yellow flags instantaneously out there as those two cars came together. Back at the front, it's Campos getting away though. Machotsi is second. How far back is Jeff Kruger, championship leader? He's too far away to try and make any inroads though, but he's not too far off the back end of the Europe and Seeker car there of Justin Oates. He's fighting hard with Jason Campos. A much better start from Jason Campos, and potentially a second place here in the Masters. Even could get to first because John Gerber is just ahead of him. The DAF Trucks car there looking good, and Gerber Motorsports certainly putting in a big effort here this weekend to get that new sponsor some great coverage. And as he closes in on his ex-teammate there, Darren Oates, I think could potentially be in for an overall. Let's have a look and see what's going to happen by the time that checkered flag comes out. The Pioneer and Signature Motorsport car certainly going well. His brother, race 1 winner, down in 6th at the moment, and making his way slowly but surely to the front end. Here's Jean's point of view as they go through turn 3. Lovely to see this man high flying. Of course, last year's Masters champion, and now looking to close in on his ex-teammate there, Darren Oates. It's Keegan Campos getting away though, taking Machotsi along for the ride. Further back, see a little bit of maneuvering from the two youngsters. The Just Tools car there of Benji Hubbig, and looks like DeLon Thompson now starting to close in on him, and Daniel Duminy and Alton Bow. So 4 of our youngest competitors all in the mix there, just outside the top 10. Great to see that. Darren Oates trying hard, closing in on the back end of Machotsi. You can see that gap is coming down, visibly as well as in time. And now as they head down the hill towards G&H Transport Corner, late braking required here from Oates, and he does exactly that. He brings along Jean Gerber, and defensive driving coming out of Jason Campos as Justin Oates applies the pressure from behind. Sure, it is so close between these two guys. Brilliant stuff. Further back, Sean Le Reserve trying to make his way past, and helps out Darren Winterberg on a little bit of a spin. Well caught there, Daz. The man from Bulawayo getting a little bit of a welcome to Polo Cup from an ex-champion there, Sean Le Reserve. Now comes under braking. Looks like Piet Versaki capitalized on that in the Engen car and got through there on the ANG Motors Polo of Darren Winterberg. Out of shape, Johan Pretorius. Looks like he might have been helped out by somebody there, and he's ended up on the sideline. Hopefully he can get going again. But Pretorius a bit further back there, and unfortunately looks like it might be him out of this race. Campos getting away from Mokgotsi. Mokgotsi doing everything right other than to take the win. He's tried everything he can to try and close in on Campos, but as we've seen all day long, Keegan Campos is in a zone of no cheer today. Justin Oates coming out of turn 4, heading up the hill. A bit of pressure being applied. Oh, look at the pressure coming from the sidelines there. And it's Campos around his outside. Jason Campos finding some incredible pace. Has he got what it takes on the brakes? No, he hasn't. Justin's just good enough to squeeze through there and keep out the second of the Campos boys. Oh, it's such a great race. Coming down to the final stages now. Keegan Campos has rolled off ever so slightly. Mokgotsi there in second place and keeping his championship hopes well alive with 1 to go. Can he find a way to maybe just close in and get through on Keegan Campos? I don't know if there's going to be enough. Keegan Campos is not going to let this one go. This is for his first win in Engen Polo Cup, so he's not going to give this one up that easily. And Mokgotsi's going to make him work for it. So is Darren Oates. Oates not too far off the back end in that Pine Signature Motorsport car. Behind them, it is Jean Gerber waiting to pounce if something goes wrong. This is Jonathan Mokgotsi's point of view as he tries to close in here on Campos. Hopefully he's got a couple of push-to-passes left. I don't know if he's got any left, though, as he heads up the back straight towards turn 4. I think this is pretty much how it's going to finish up here, unless there's some late braking maneuvers that could happen at the top of the hill into turn 5, but that's highly unlikely as we see Keegan Campos just cool, calm, and collected. How can you be this cool, calm, and collected when you've got a pack of cars on your tail? But Keegan's showing us how it's done. Comes out of turn 5, heads into Kenwood. And now under braking for the last time into Mix FM. There's only one more chance for Mokgotsi to try, and I think he's too far back. It's going to be Keegan Campos for the win here. An almost perfect weekend for him. The only one he didn't get was race 1's victory, but everything else, he was number 1 on the day. Coming through to take the win, Campos in the Campos Transport Turn 1 insurance car takes the win there, ahead of Jonathan Mokgotsi in the Volkswagen Motorsport Polo. Darren Oates comes through for 3rd place in the Pie-In Signature Motorsport car ahead of Jean Gerber. First of our Masters, he beats out Justin Oates' teammate, and Jason Campos second in the Masters there in 6th ahead of Hubig and Thompson. Jeff Kruger retains his championship lead with 125 points, 13 points adrift. Mokgotsi, Tasman Pepper still in 3rd, and Campos, the biggest mover of the weekend, heading to Cape Town.
Sean, it's a bit of a tough one to take because it's family as well as teammates, so it's a hard one, but of course it is part of the racing and what happens in Polo Cup when it's so close.
You know, in race 1, I stayed behind her because it's obviously we're trying to help her with her championship. That just doesn't help. But if I thought it would have been close, I would have pulled out. Tazzy, I'm sorry. We'll have to go and have a look and see what happened. I thought Taz got hit because all of us were going through fine. Next minute there was a bang. So if it is my fault, I apologise.
John, after a little bit of braking proceedings, still got what it takes in coming to the front end to win the Masters today. You must be pretty impressed with the car's performance.
Yeah, I think it worked out well. So we had a good weekend all in all. Couldn't really challenge for position. I think we got the balance not entirely right. So there's a bit of homework to do for sure to be able to overtake easier. But I mean, the field is so close. We'll really have to look into it properly.
Didn't quite work out in the first one, but the second one, it was all about Keegan Campos.
It's nice to hear that, Greg. Thank you very much. Race 1 was, I'll take it. It's a very good result considering it's your first season. I'm learning. Obviously, for race 2, I couldn't have asked for more. I'm 99% sure I got the fastest lap, so it's another point to my name. I couldn't be more chuffed. It's my first win of the season. It's come rather early, most will say, but I'm over the moon. I want to just thank my dad, the entire Pepper racing team and all the drivers within Pepper, Tasman, Sean and my brother, really helping a lot with all the work we put in with data and the behind the scenes, if you call it that.
A day of firsts here at Zwartkops. First win for Justin Oates, very first win for Keegan Campos, and looking forward to what's going to happen now down in Cape Town. The next round we head down to the Mother City. It's a circuit that always brings out great racing in the Engen Polo Cup.
And we look forward to seeing you at Killarney International Raceway on the 22nd of September for the next round.
No, restart please.
That's fine. This Polo Cup action is proudly brought to you by Engen Primex Unleaded, Volkswagen Motorsport, Ferodo Brakes, and Dunlop Tires.